This lesson covers configuring DHCP reservations. Ordinarily, when a machine starts up, it will send out that request, and the DHCP server will look at its scope, and one of those available IP addresses, i.e. one that is not currently leased, it will offer to the machine. But suppose I want to make sure a machine always gets the same IP address, even if it's been turned off for 2 weeks. I essentially want to give it a static IP address. I just don't want to configure it within the OS itself. I want DHCP infrastructure to always give a machine the same IP. I can achieve that through a reservation. I can right-click Reservations and say New Reservation. I would give it a name. Maybe this is my Domain Controller 1. I would tell it the IP address that I want it to give from that scope. Now, how does it know that is the domain controller? Well, I have to give it the MAC address. So on that target machine, I would run ipconfig/all. So if we look quickly, if I do ipconfig/all, in that output, it shows me the MAC address. It says physical address. So I would take that address, I would put it in the MAC address field. I have to add a description. Is this for DHCP? Was it for boot P or both? Boot P is when I'm selecting an operating system over the network. DHCP is just when I need an IP address. So I could select that and I could say add. If I say close, now that reservation exists. And I'm going to go ahead and delete that. I can do the same thing from PowerShell. I could say add a DHCP server v4 reservation, the name, the IP address, client ID, all the same pieces of information that I configured through the wizard. So this is very useful if I want all of my machines, for example, to be configured to use DHCP to simplify the IP assignment, but I need a certain machine to always get the same IP address. Note that in that example, client ID was the MAC address. It didn't call it the physical address, it just called it client ID. That was where I would type in the MAC address.